I'm Logan Sullivan.
And I'm Ryder Radke.
And we're gonna show you guys the different vehicles you can use to start your junk removal company. Behind me, we have a very expensive dump truck. You guys might not be starting with this, so we're gonna show you guys some other options. We'll get back to this bad boy at the end of the video. Enjoy.
We are heading over to the F-150, which is our truck and trailer combo with a dump trailer. We got Logan in the back seat. We are rolling out from the office now. Honestly, when we first got that trailer, Logan and I were just trying to figure out a way for us to start doing jobs as cheap as possible.
Yeah.
And so we found that best deal for $2,500. The trailer was probably worth $3,500 when we bought it. And so we just started with that, and then basically that was just our cheapest entry that we could find. And it worked.
That was kind of the plan even when we bought that trailer, because I think to spend $2,500 on something when you have very little cash, that's a large percentage of the total cash you have. So, same thing with someone who's got like $10 making a $10 purchase. It's like, that's all your money. So I think at that time, we definitely were serious about doing junk removal. But I think for me, the time it really flipped is when we hired our first employee, and it was their first day going out without me and Ryder. It was just our two employees going out themselves. And he closed the first job for like $600. Then he closed the second job for like $400. And it was that point where I was like, holy shit, someone else can do this just like we can do it on the truck. And it was that point where I'm like, okay, like this is gonna work,
All right, so we're pulling up to the job right now with that first truck and dump trailer right now. I'm gonna check that out, show you guys that in action live on the job site. So excited to show you guys the truck and trailer.
All right, guys, we're at the first job site. Behind us is the truck and the trailer setup. You either love it or you hate it. So let's kind of look at the truck first. This truck, beautiful truck. It is a 2024 brand new F-150 XL. For what we do, it has got a good enough towing capacity to where it can pull that dump trailer with about 2 tons in the load. Brand new, no maintenance problems. You have the mobile app that tells you all the engine issues, maintenance, when it needs oil change, all that kind of stuff. It tells you the tire PSI. So this truck, no complaints. I would say having a bad truck, like having an older truck, is definitely not ideal, because you're gonna have a lot of maintenance issues with it, just like you would an older dump truck. But then you also don't really have any benefits of it because it's a truck and trailer. It's still more difficult to drive than a dump truck. Moving on to the trailer, this dump trailer right here is about $8,000, $9,000 brand new. This thing weighs about 2,000 pounds. So if your vehicle pulls, above 7,000 pounds, you should be good using a 2,000 pound or under dump trailer. It's a 6 by 12 foot dump trailer. It's got, the trailer usually ends about right here, but we added about another 2 feet of wood planks on top of it to make it go from 4 feet all the way to 6 feet. That brings the total cubic yardage to this about 15 cubic yards, just like our other vehicles. Obviously this is a dump trailer, so it does dump by itself. So pull up right here. This is one of the big issues with this thing too, though, because this whole module is obviously disconnected from the truck itself. I want to make sure you don't have any bald tires. We're gonna ignore that one right now. Put a note in for Maudine to come and fix that one.
Another thing with these trailers is when you're dumping these at the landfills, you've got these lights free hanging down here, and when you dump your load, if there's some dirt or anything in the landfill, a lot of times it can bang these up, clip them up, or break the lights. In which they need to be repaired.
Another con of this dump trailer, guys, is having this manual tarp, right? So the dump trucks have an automatic tarp, so you just click a button, you tarp your load, there's no problems. With this thing, you guys actually have to hop up on the sides, grab one side, drag it over. Sometimes if you got mattresses and stuff that's hanging up top, it's really difficult to actually pull it over, and then you guys either end up getting lazy and not tarping something up, or it's just not tarped properly. We've had 3 incidents of times where stuff has flown out of this truck and either hit another car going on the side of the road, and we've got a complaint. Fortunately, no one's ever got injured from it, but that's something right there that can instantly put you guys out of business if you don't tarp your loads up, guys. You're gonna get tickets, you're gonna get your hauler's license taken away, you're gonna get bad Google reviews, you're gonna get people calling your office telling them your employees are bad. All this stuff can be avoidable by just tarping up your loads and getting the automatic tarp.
Me personally, I'm taking the junk truck first. I probably would take this over a box truck just because I'm comfortable driving truck and trailer. But for someone who's not comfortable driving truck and trailer, they might choose a box truck over a setup like this just because of their comfort level. But for me, I'm putting this thing right after a junk truck. just because I do enjoy driving truck and trailer sometimes, but it's not made for everybody. Hey Cole, what's your favorite truck to drive?
Yeah, what's your favorite truck to drive?
This thing right
This
here.
thing right here?
Got AC. You keep all your tools in the back instead of in like the box truck, like you're saying, or even that truck.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to put them in the actual trailer. It's just a pain. Like,
And what do we got today? What's the job?
it's literally we're just walking around like all the borders, kind of pick up all this miscellaneous trash that all these truckers drop. Clients that used to having a big pain of everyone just throwing their shit around. So that's why you call guys like us putting that shit up.
Our dump truck that's out right now. We're gonna hit on the dump trucks later, but you can see the top of it. We're actually stacking stuff a little bit above that fill line, which is one benefit you have of this over using something like the box truck, which we'll check out next. Okay, now we have the box truck. So guys, when you're starting a junk removal company, box truck, you're gonna see them on Facebook Marketplace for really cheap. You're gonna see them online for way cheaper than any other type of vehicle. And the reason for that, obviously, is because there's not a dump body on it. It's just a solid box, which holds a lot of space. So this box truck right here is 14 feet long. That's kind of the standard size you're gonna find. They do make 16-foot box trucks. We used to have a 16-foot. You have to account for, though, that it's a way bigger vehicle. So if you're doing jobs regularly with a dump trailer or a dump truck, that's 15 cubic yards. This thing's about 20 to 23 cubic yards. So you got to really account for that when you're doing jobs and making sure you're not doing a full load that's actually like twice, the work of a regular full load. So this truck does not have a ramp on it. Guys, a ramp is very essential when you're doing junk removal. Basically what happens if you don't have a ramp, anything that's really heavy that you have to get up here, you either have to lift it up with your partner or like tip it in. It's also inconvenient when you're loading stuff up. You have to like walk up here, and you can't really walk up if you have, you're holding something really heavy. So usually you got to set it down, climb up, and then bring it back into the truck. Worst part about any box truck, guys, obviously it does not dump. So this is a perfect example right here of a really nasty load that we're gonna have to hand unload. So like this wood has got all kinds of nails in it and stuff. Biggest downside, you're gonna have to get in here, start throwing everything out individually, one by one. You get cut up, you can bang your head around on stuff. It's really just not safe for most employees to be doing this every single day. So we're moving away from the box trucks, but I'm really not, I do think box trucks get more hate than they should, to be honest. Hand unloading most times isn't that bad, to be honest. If you, just have a job that's all furniture or mattresses, it's really not bad just to, throw that stuff out. A lot of times too, landfills have a separate hand unload area, so you can actually unload quicker sometimes than you can actually dump your dump truck, having to go up to the landfill, wait in the line, that type of thing. If you're starting a junk removal company for the first time yourself, I think the box truck is probably a better option than the truck and trailer, to be totally honest with you. Anyone can drive the box truck. It's a lot safer. Again, the only downside is you're gonna have to hand unload that stuff, so you have to be careful with doing dirt jobs and stuff like that. I would say 10 months to a year in business. We bought this truck for $16,000. It is a 2001 Isuzu NPR. It was actually kind of a steal. It only had like 40,000 miles on it, or 35,000 miles when we bought it. We got it from a guy who ran like a delivery company, and I guess he just never used it, so it just sat in the shop for a while. So if you do find a good deal on a truck like this, where it's got low miles, you trust the previous owner of it, I do think it's worth it to buy one of these for $15,000 to $20,000. If you're gonna pay upwards of $30,000 to $40,000 to $50,000, $60,000 for a new one of these things, I definitely would recommend just getting a dump truck. If you're buying a new one of these boxes probably costs $5,000 to $10,000 to put on. A dump body costs $15,000 to $20,000 to put on. So you're gonna save your employees so much time by having that automatic dumper on it compared to having them hand unload this thing. As good as this thing looks, guys, this is not actually the #1 pick for a junk removal truck. #1 is a trailer right here is most similar to the trailer we actually started the company with. It's not the exact same. The other one is actually a caged like metal trailer, but same kind of design, enclosed trailer, 12 feet long. You can get a brand new one like this for about 3,000 bucks. It's got the pre-built-in ramp right here, which is super clutch. This thing folds down. You can load stuff just right into it. There's no problems with it. Problems with it, obviously, you do have the enclosed top, so you can't really stack stuff above right here. If you're tall, you're gonna be hitting your head a lot on something like this. I can't remember how many times I hit my head on that.
So this is a little bit different just from the storage aspect, having that top. When we had that first trailer, we actually cut the top off. It was caged. And we cut that top off and then installed a tarp just to give ourselves a little bit extra cubic yards. This one's a little bit more used for storage. It still could be used for hauling. You're just not gonna have that much space with the limitation of the ceiling there.
I'm honestly taking like 3 of these over having 1 dump trailer to start with. When you have a bunch of these, you can do big jobs still. You can, on Sundays when the landfills are closed after hours, you can still pack these things up and drop them right off. They're nice and cheap. They're easy to drive. They don't have any batteries or shit like that that's gonna be dead or have maintenance problems. So I'm honestly a bigger fan of these than most people are. Still, it's not a dump truck, obviously. You're still gonna have issues. You still gotta learn how to drive a truck and trailer with it.
I'm taking a dump trailer anytime over an enclosed. There's a little bit less visibility, so you can't really see behind you quite as well. And it is a little bit more difficult to hand unload all those items out of there. So me personally, I'm taking a dump trailer. I would almost say you go from, if you have just a single pickup truck, I think your next step there is almost a junk truck, because you can almost still run with the same, maybe a little less capacity, but you can still run that truck with that setup. I would say a truck and trailer setup would be better if the truck maybe bed isn't as big. Or you need a little more space, but I would go right to a junk truck. All right, so you've seen all of our other trucks. Now this is pretty much our bread and butter. This is an Isuzu NPR HD dump truck with a dump body on it. This is ultimately the best setup that you can get. So the cabs in these NPRs are actually pretty spacious and give the guys quite a bit of room up front. The nicest part about these trucks is these cabs lift up and then you can work on the engine directly below the bay we're in right now. The turning radius in these trucks is actually really, really good. So you can actually maneuver a lot easier in one of these NPRs as opposed to the truck and trailer where it's a little bit longer and that turning radius isn't quite as good. This specific model here is a 2016, so it's a little bit older. So the dash is a little bit outdated, but really all they need to do is be able to drive from A to B safely and be able to store our junk in the back. And this truck definitely gets that job done, even if it's a little beat up. Ideally, a truck like this can make it all the way to 250,000 miles. And so it really just depends on how much mileage it's getting per year. But oftentimes these things can make it 5 to 7 years. But you got to remember they're out in the roads every single day. And so they're getting beat up and they're getting used every single day.
One of the best parts about this truck is actually these big barn doors right here. So a lot of the dump trailers you get are just going to have one big swinging door, or they're going to have 2 doors that kind of lock together simultaneously. You're usually not able to lock one door at a time. So with these, when you're filling this thing up, let's say you have a full truck and you can just come in here and shut one of these. You can lock this one up. That allows you to stack stuff all the way up to the top back here, stack stuff right here, and then you can shut this last door, compared to having this whole thing open the entire job and then having to shut both doors at once. Sometimes there's stuff in the way, they don't get closed, and then you got to start unloading stuff. Pain in the ass. With this thing, you shut one of those doors and you know that load is going to stay in there.
Another nice thing about these doors is they actually come back over here on the back side and they connect to the actual body of the dump, so that when we're dumping, these doors aren't falling down or breaking or hitting someone else next to us. And so making sure that these things are locked in when we're dumping or opening, keeping it open is always worth doing.
Guys, another essential part of these trucks is having a big ramp right here. So this one does not have a ramp in it right now. We actually got to get this ramp replaced. I don't even want to talk about what happened with this one. But basically, the ramp comes out, slides out, hooks up. You can lift everything back like right into the truck. If you don't have a ramp, guys, a lot of the stuff maybe that you're putting on dollies, refrigerators, super heavy sleeper sofas, stuff like that is going to be really difficult to actually load in here. Same thing with actually hopping up in the truck every single time. You got to jump up or climb up. Some employees don't like doing that, obviously. So very essential to have a ramp, and really you should have a ladder at somewhere on the truck as well. This truck actually has a ladder on this side right here, which, guys, you don't even think about this type of stuff. Most dump trailers don't have any ladders. Utility trailers don't have any ladders. This is super clutch. You can grab right on, climb to the top. You can see the load you have. You can get a picture of the load you have. You can put stuff up here, strap stuff up here if you need to. Gives you way more flexibility having this ramp right here, being able to get to the top of it, no problem, right? Another benefit of this truck, all these lights are built into the actual cab itself. So a lot of times are into the actual body itself. So a lot of times with dump trailers, you have these loose lights, like kind of these back here. These don't have cages around them. So you can see these things get busted up all the time. Broken lights, broken shells. So with these bodies, they build a lot of these lights into it. So the chance of them breaking is really low. Obviously you see it still does happen here. Next time we replace these lights, we probably will get a cage put on there so that doesn't happen again. But some stuff you gotta look out for, guys, for sure.
One of the best parts about having a dump truck like this, obviously, is that you have that hydraulic press built into the body. So you can see Logan bringing it down here now. This makes our dump run super, super quick and efficient for our guys. And so you're not spending all that time taking all that stuff out by hand. And so having this dump, it just makes the job that much easier. Another thing that's really important when you're dumping this body is you want to make sure everything behind you is safe and there's no one around the outside of the body. So typically, while one person is bringing the truck up, you've got the other guy in the back watching it and keeping an eye out on the surroundings to make sure that you're dumping in a safe area and not hitting anyone else around you. When you first get started, you might not have the luxury of having a dump trailer like this. And so when you're first starting with, say, a normal trailer without a dump, you're gonna be hand unloading everything out of that trailer. And that's gonna take you a lot of time. It could be a half hour to an hour per dump run. And that's the time that you could be on a job, you know, closing another job or doing another job. So that's one thing that just makes the job a lot more efficient when doing those dump runs. Another great thing about these trucks is when you hire a new employee, bringing them on here and having them drive this versus learning a truck and trailer for the first time makes the job that much easier for them. And they just feel a little bit more comfortable and safe when on the truck doing the job. And so that's one thing that these trucks are excellent for.
Another benefit is people that have worked at other companies that do use these trucks, they can come right over to us and they know how to drive it right away because it's the truck they're used to driving, they're already currently driving. So that's been huge too for attracting talent.
Yeah, and these Isuzu NPRs really are just the gold standard as far as our industry and what we're doing as of now. Until maybe in the future, electric vehicles, if Isuzu's working on an electric truck, it's supposed to be about a little over 100,000, but that soon might be a great option as well.
The biggest downside of these types of vehicles are obviously the cost of them. Okay, if you've looked at dump trucks, you might have seen a crazy price tag. A brand new one of these babies could run you anywhere from 90,000 all the way up to 120,000, depending on the year, the model you get. This vehicle specifically, you might be able to find some discounts, some good, crazy deals on Facebook Marketplace. Be very careful buying any used trucks. This truck's actually a perfect example. We got lucky with this because we got a great deal on it to where the deal pretty much paid for the body itself. But this thing is having crazy oil leaks. We got this thing about almost a year ago now. So it's lasted us a year. But this engine is gonna either have to be swapped or we're gonna have to change this entire body and put it on a brand new chassis. All right, guys, you've seen the pickup truck. You've seen the pickup truck pulling different types of trailers, seen the box truck, and now you see the dump truck. Guys, we're gonna rank these in order from best to worst. So in first place, without a doubt, I'm going with the dump truck. The downsides of it, it's really expensive. That's the only downside. Positives of it, every employee can drive it. It's a great vehicle. It's gonna last you a very long time. Save your employees on labor, having that automatic dump body on there. Without a doubt, dump truck is number one. Now, if you are balling on a budget and you don't have enough money to afford a $50,000 to $100,000 dump truck, I think the number two option is going to be the box truck. Now, that is a controversial statement. I think a lot of people would say the truck and trailer is actually a better option. For me, once you're operating a business and you have a lot of employees, so many issues happen with the trucks and trailers. The trailers' batteries are dying, flat tires, all that type of stuff. It's super inconvenient, super annoying. Yes, you're saving your employees on labor, but you're paying for it in a lot of other costs. So we're gonna go second place is the box truck. Third place, we're gonna go with the truck and the dump trailer. Fourth place, just the truck with the enclosed trailer. I mean, that's a pretty rough setup. You don't look very professional. Employees are not gonna know how to drive that right away. You're gonna have to train them. It's gonna take a couple days, a couple weeks to get them learning how to drive that thing. So guys, that's kind of this ranking for junk removal on what we do here in Florida and Wisconsin. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. But other than that, see you guys next time.